Hello, everyone. Welcome to IAS Help Desk. In today's video, we'll delve into the directive principles of state policy, a crucial aspect of the Indian Constitution. DPSPs are a set of social and economic objectives for a modern democratic state as laid down in Part 4 of the Indian Constitution. They complement the fundamental rights and constitute the soul of the Constitution. Imagine you have a set of goals for your school or class to make it a great place for everyone. These goals could include things like making sure everyone feels safe, getting a good education, and being treated fairly. Now, in a similar way, the Indian Constitution, which is like a rule book for the country, has a set of goals for the country to become a good and fair place. These goals are called Directive Principles of State Policy, or DPSPs for short. They're like a guide for the government to make sure people in the country are happy and well taken care of. However, these guidelines are non-justiciable. That means they are not like strict rules that can be enforced or made into laws directly. In simple terms, it's like advice that the government can choose to follow, but it's not something people can take to a court and say, make sure the government does exactly this. Now, let's explore the different categories of DPSPs and their key principles. The first is socialistic principles. It aims to promote social justice, reduce economic inequalities, and work towards the welfare of all citizens by implementing policies that prioritize the well-being of the community over individual interests. These principles guide the government in creating a more equitable and inclusive society. The socialistic principles include adequate means of livelihood, fair distribution of wealth, equal pay for equal work, just and humane conditions of work, and maternity relief. The second is Gandhian principles. It refers to the incorporation of Mahatma Gandhi's ideas, emphasizing rural development, social justice, and decentralized governance. These principles aim to promote a just and equitable society based on Gandhian values of self-sufficiency, village empowerment, and non-violence. Hence, Gandhian principles include organization of village panchayats, promotion of cottage industries, safeguarding the interests of scheduled castes and tribes, prohibition of intoxicating liquor, and modern and scientific agriculture and animal husbandry. The third one is liberal principles. It focuses on ensuring justice, individual rights, and environmental sustainability. Hence, liberal principles include uniform and liberal code of law, separation of judiciary from the executive, raise the standard of nutrition and living, protection of monuments, equal justice and free legal aid, workers' participation in management, and promotion of environment and safeguarding of forests and wildlife. The fourth one is provisions relating to international peace and security. These provisions reflect India's commitment to global peace and cooperation. Hence, it covers promotion of international peace and security, just and honorable relations between nations, foster respect for international law, and encourage settlement of disputes by arbitration. The DPSPs cover articles from Article 36 to 51. We have explained the different categories of DPSPs and their key principles. However, if you want to read the DPSPs article-wise, then you can download the material from the website. Now discussing the amendments to the DPSPs. 42nd Constitutional Amendment, 1976 introduced certain changes in the Part 4 of the Constitution by adding new directives such as Article 39, to secure opportunities for the healthy development of children, Article 39A, to provide free legal aid to the poor, Article 43A, participation of workers in management of industries, and Article 48A, to protect and improve the environment. 44th Constitutional Amendment, 1978. It inserted Section 2 to Article 38, which declares that the state in particular shall strive to minimize economic inequalities in income and eliminate inequalities in status, facilities and opportunities not amongst individuals but also amongst groups. It also eliminated the right to property from the list of fundamental rights. 86th Amendment Act of 2002. It changed the subject matter of Article 45 and made elementary education a fundamental right under Article 21A. 97th Amendment 2011. The 97th Amendment Act of 2011 created a new DPSP for cooperative societies under Article 43B. Now, let's see how DPSPs are put into action through various legislations. To implement Article 40 under 73rd and 74th Amendments, powers have been conferred on Zilla Parishads, municipalities and panchayats. to implement Article 39, B, and C. In 1971, 14 banks were nationalized. During the 70s, many industries were taken over by the government. To implement Article 43, the 26th Amendment of the Constitution made in 1971 abolished the Privy Purses. Next, to implement Articles 41, 42, 43A, the numerous acts pertaining to labor, e.g., Minimum Wages Act, Workmen Compensation Act, Maternity Benefit Act, the Factories Act etc. were passed to implement Article 48A, the Water Pollution, Air Pollution, Environmental Pollution Acts, the Forest Act, and Wildlife Protection Act passed by the Parliament. To conclude, Preamble, fundamental rights, and DPSPs are integral parts of the Constitution. They emphasize on building an egalitarian society. Hence, it's essential to recognize the interconnectedness of the Preamble, fundamental rights, and directive principles in shaping the ethos of our Constitution. All the three topics have been covered in our series. Watch all the videos, get complete understanding about the topics important for IAS Prelims.
So now discussing the previous year questions related to DPSP. Question 1 is, under the Indian Constitution, concentration of wealth violates the right to equality, the directive principles of state policy, the right to freedom, or the concept of welfare. According to DPSP, Article 39 states to secure the right to adequate means of livelihood for all citizens and equitable distribution of material resources. So the concentration of wealth is against the socialist principle and it is against the directive principles of state policy. Because DPSP is aim at establishment of welfare society, the correct statement is B. The right to equality will be wrong because it is not related to the fundamental right, because wealth and property are not a part of fundamental rights, and the concept of welfare is also so incorrect because concept of welfare is different according to different societies and regions. So the answer will be B, directive principles of state policy. Now moving to the second question. With reference to the provisions contained in the Part 4 of the Constitution, which of the following statement is correct? They shall be enforceable by courts. They shall not be enforceable by any court. The principles laid down in this part are to influence the making of laws by the state. So as we know that Part 4 of the Constitution covers DPSP and they are not enforceable by court. So statement 1 is wrong. And if we go by the elimination method, then A and C will be out. Now moving to the B and D. Now moving to the third statement. The principles laid down in this part are to influence the making of laws by the state. This statement is correct as these are the ideals that are provided in the Constitution and these are the guidelines which a state have to follow by making the laws. So the answer is D, 2 and 3 are correct. Now moving to the next question. Consider the following provisions under the DPSP as enshrined in the Constitution of India. Securing for citizens a uniform civil code, organizing village panchayat, promoting cottage industries in rural areas, securing for all workers reasonable leisure and cultural properties. Which of the above are Gandhian principles? As we have studied in the video that Gandhian principles are for the rural development and are based on the Gandhian philosophy of establishment of Swadeshi and rural development. So securing the citizens of India a uniform civil code, it will not be as part of Gandhian policy. Organizing village panchayat that is given under Article 40 will be part of Gandhian philosophy. Promoting cottage industries for promoting Swadeshi will be correct as it is given in Article 43. And securing all the workers reasonable leisure and cultural opportunities is a part of socialist principles, not the Gandhian principles. So which article belongs to which part of the DPSP is important, and you have to know the particular articles and the particular point which are related to different DPSPs. So the answer will be 2 and 3. B. The next question is, consider the following statement with respect to the Constitution of India. The DPSP constitute limitations upon legislative functions or executive function. DPSPs are not enforceable by court and DPSPs are simple the guidelines. So they do not constitute limitations upon either the legislative function or the executive function. So the answer will be D, whereas fundamental rights act as a limitations on the legislative and executive function. Thank you. Hope you have liked the video. We will bring more videos on IAS Prelims Revision classes. that will cover art and culture, economy, environment, polity, etc. Please like, share and subscribe our channel, and if you have any doubt, you can WhatsApp at 85860555783 or visit our website iashelpdesk.in to get all the content related to prelims examination or mains examination free of cost. Thank you.